Have you seen these new features on Lightroom? Wow. What's up everyone, my name is Manny. Nice to see your smiling faces and welcome back to another video. Now, have you seen these new features on Lightroom? I mean, like, I came across them, I was amazed. It's sort of like, it's making life a little bit easier, and then it's taking the creativity away from the creator. I'm kind of like, sort of like in the middle with these features. We're gonna go through them. I'm gonna show you them really quick and just tell me how you go with it in the comments. Okay, so if we was to just shoot up Lightroom, as you can see here, a landscape picture of what I took in southern England when I was traveling a few weeks back. We got a lovely subject here and we got a nice foreground. Now obviously what the regular you do is try and straighten it out, which is already is, and then if you was to go down to the editing section, you will see the presets here. Now what you got is, obviously these are yours, so these are my regular ones that I use. You hit recommended here and Lightroom basically shows you what they would recommend. So if you just hover over it, it will literally change what they recommend this picture should look like. And this is just amazing. Like, I came across this feature and I read recommended and I was like, what is this thing? And you just literally hover over these little templates that they've given you. Look at this black and white one. I mean, that just brings the black and white. It's just a different thing. It shows so much to a colored picture. I think black and white pictures are kind of taken over, you know that. I would be honest with you. If you also scroll down here, take this one is a bit, well, it's just way over. Look at this one. This one's quite nice, but these are the recommended ones that Lightroom would show you. This one's pretty good, but these are all baseline. You can obviously twerk, you know, the temperature, the tint, the saturation, all that, move the vibrance up or down according to what you would like to see. But something like this is, it's just really good. You know, you got the sky not blown out. You can see your subjects, in this case the wildlife. You can see the grass, it's nice lit up, it's bright green, you know. The other thing I want to show you is, if you look at these, it says subtle. So if you click on subtle, it will show you a little bit of sort of, you know, it would drain out the sort of the temperature, the saturation and stuff like that. You got strong here, which I'm guessing is more of the bright ones. Yeah, so it brings out the green, it pops the green in the landscape pictures. For example, look at this one. This one is kind of taking away the subject, so it's darkening the subjects, but it's, look at the green in this, it's literally popping out to you. These are really good. Then you can go to view more. I mean, this is like endless. This is just endless. It's, you know, look at this one. This one is sort of like the effect that I would probably go for. Okay, here's another one with just landscape, no subject. It's just a blown out sky, as you can see here. No subject, like I said. But so if we was to go to recommended and say we go to cool, let's try cool. That almost looks like, this picture was taken during daytime, but this cool effect just makes it look as if it's taken, you know, early morning maybe. Look at this, oh my god. This looks pretty cool. And then let me show you something. So if you come over to this section, which is the masking, right, it will show you what it can do, right? So you select, it'll give you two options. Select subject, in this case obviously if we had a person in the foreground, which we don't. So if we click on select sky, look, it's detecting the sky for you. I mean, how cool is that? So before you would have to, you know, cut out the sky, you know, whatever you need, but look how good that is. That is literally done it for you, and that is just amazing, I would say. You know, it hasn't missed a single mark. It hasn't missed a single mark, you know that. Look at this. It's actually left the little plane out of the picture as well, so it hasn't masked the plane as well. So this is just amazing, you know. And then you can change the exposure on this. Here we go. Make it look a bit more moody. It will bring out the clouds in this, you know. Bring up the little the subtle tones. This is just amazing. And the mask itself will actually, what it will do, before what used to happen is that if you put a subject where you want to just do that little section of the picture, you're gonna have to cut it out, you're gonna have to draw a line over it, or maybe put a layer on top of it so that you're only doing the editing to that specific section of the picture. Now, Lightroom just does it for you. A few clicks and it would separate things for you. Wow, this is just, it's just amazing. You know, if you take out, so if you bring down temperature, look at that. That is sort of like something that is my kind of thing, you know, that picture. And I haven't even done much to it. Lightroom actually done it for me, and I've just used that baseline to move the exposure of the cloud and drop the temperature. This thing is just, oh man, I don't know, it kind of like takes away the creativity from the creator as well, because the computer is doing it for you, the app, the program is doing it for you. I'm kind of like in the middle with this. Okay, all right, let's try something else, right? So let's take, for example, the subject this time. Let's just straighten this out. Okay, and then let's try masking the subject this time. Let's see if that works. So you would go to the same icon, masking, and let's see if it selects the subject now. It's detecting. There we are. Damn, that was pretty quick as well, isn't it? It actually just, as you can see, it's taken nothing away from the pathway, the walls, you know, nothing, any objects. Look at all this stuff lying around, whatever it is. These wires hanging off the wall, this lantern, you know, AC cabinet, nothing like that. Lightroom has really, really nailed what they have programmed here. So if we just take, for example, now it's you know, overlaid a subject. If we want to tweak that, so let's go and bring down the contrast on him slightly, the exposure so he pops out. Bring down the highlights, his shadow. There we go. Look at that. It's just amazing. It's changing nothing to the light overhead, as you can see. I think that is natural light that is coming from up here. But if we remove the shadow cursor, you can see his clothing just change color. Look at that. He's just popping out. No. Let's try another one here. This is quite blown out. It's not me. It's okay. Just move something here. Let's see if so there's a lot happening in this picture, as you can see. If with this subject, right, we got a blown out sky totally, but we're not gonna do with the sky. We're just gonna try and do the subject in this one. So if we go again to masking and see if it actually just detects the subject, right? This, by the way, this was taken obviously in Dubai, haven't been, right? But as you can see here, look, it's totally just picked out the subject. I mean, nothing around this whole frame tree, grass, pavement, nothing like that. It's only selected the subject. Like this stuff is just amazing. You know, it's just phenomenal. Let me just move the contrast a little bit, exposure obviously, so we can see him. There we are. See? He's much more brighter. Now let's try the other thing, which is the sky. Okay, so we've done the subject. Let's see what it will give us for the sky now. I think, you know, like these kind of things are just making life easier. I would kind of like go with it. All right, cool, but I wouldn't use it all the time because I like to create my own. These are basically baselines that you can start off with. If you want to use the whole thing, there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that. I have done it. If I click on a preset, which I've used, I've got tons of them because they are my favorite, you know, producers of it. I do use the presets, and I just one click and the picture just looks phenomenal. It goes with my Instagram grid. It sort of fits in with the mood that I try to create. So I don't do any other adjustments other than just clicking on that preset, and that is it. I don't need to do any other adjustments to exposure, to contrast, to saturation, nothing else. Anyway, so here we have the sky now selected, and it's just done another great job of that. Just exposure on that a little bit, maybe just bring the highlights up, and it just looks slow, nice, and bring the highlights down in fact, and it will look like a lovely sunset all the way down. And that's just made all the difference in this picture. Let's go to the presets again and see what it would recommend for this picture. Just gives you a whole lot of rainbow selection. Look at that, oh my days. Look, this is similar to what was before. This looks so, man. Lightroom is it's just these Adobe programs, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, they're just ever evolving, isn't it? It's just growing all the time. Okay, so I've been using Lightroom ever since I probably started photography, right? From day one, because I've obviously been learning from other creators as well. So Lightroom is, I would probably say, my favorite because I started off with photography and then went onto YouTube doing the little clips on Instagram and stuff like that, for which I use Premiere Pro. But Lightroom is my editing app for pictures no matter what. And it just makes life a lot easier. Like I said, the presets that Lightroom provides is a baseline. Then you can go and change into your own ones. You can, you know, adjust your contrast, your shadows and stuff like that, and you can evolve from that picture. However, like I said, I have just clicked on presets and bam, it's given me a really good, you know, totally different aspect to the picture that I took from my raw footage. So I would use that. There's nothing wrong in that. And going forward, I think this is just gonna get easier. However, you have to learn beyond the line, I would say, if you want to get used to Premiere Pro, Lightroom and things like that, all these After Effects, and you know, there's loads out there from Adobe. But these stuff probably will make life easier for us as creators and yourself as well. However, with that, I would leave you with saying, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hit the like button and subscribe as well.